Kia ora Star Wars fans, welcome to Middle Aged Kiwi Man collecting Star Wars figures. Now in this video we're going to check out another figure that I picked up recently, and it is the Clone Trooper 501st Legion. Now it has an old VC number, VC240, and it's a new figure but not a new figure, but anyway, let's check it out. Alright, and there is the figure on the card back, and I've got to say it's an absolutely phenomenal card back image. Now it is sourced to Obi-Wan Kenobi, so it is part of the flashback scenes, but this image is absolutely fantastic. And one thing to note is that for those flashback scenes, they did slightly change the colour of the blue of the 501st Troopers, but thankfully for this release they've kept it consistent with previous ones, so it'll fit nicely into your armies. And there is the figure in the card back there. We'll get into it in a minute, where that's come from, and something else to explore later. Again, it's VC240. We've had VC240 before, and there is what we come to expect now, which is a picture of the card and the figure on the back there. Alright, there is the new VC240 card from the Obi-Wan Kenobi series. As I said, I really enjoy that card back image. The previous VC240 figure was this one here from the Clone Wars, so a more animated style card back. Not really as cool in my opinion, and it's a different Clone Trooper buck, so we'll get into that in a minute. But I also wanted to show you the OG VC60 Clone Trooper 501st Legion, sourced from Revenge of the Sith. You can see there I've got a unpunched one. It's got a little bit of a crease in the corner, that's a bit annoying. Darth Maul office sticker, and the classic card back image with the first appearance with the 501st. So there we go. A little lineup of all those really nice 501st Clone Trooper card backs in the vintage collection so far. And of course one more instance of the 501st, and that is this recent 4-pack with the new buck of the Phase 2 Clone Troopers. So we're going to get into that again soon. Alright, and there is the figure out of the packaging. As we know, it's a pretty nice Clone Trooper buck that they've got going on. They first released this in the Andor line. That was with a removable helmet, and this solid helmet is much better. So we know all about the articulation. Nice movement at the head. Shoulders are really good. Elbows are pretty good. Got hinged wrists up and down there, and the in and out on the left hand. Bit of a crunch where the armor meets the belt. Barbell hips, there's a thigh swivel in there as well. Knees 90. Look at that beautiful painting, the striping on the legs there, and rocker ankles as well. Comes with just the 2 accessories, and those are the classic clone blaster, the carbine, and the rifle. DC-15s, I think. And as I said just before, the Phase 2 clone, this new buck, came with this Andor set, and then we got this 4-pack, which came with 2 plain white clones, one 501st and one 332nd, which gave us the solid helmet at last. And there's the new figure on the right, and then there's the previous version from the 4-pack on the left, and you can see basically the same paint markings and everything. The only difference is the glossiness of the paint. You can see it really well there on the shoulder pads. The new one is much glossier, other than the glossy paint, and you can see it on the helmet as well. And on the chest there, other than the glossiness of the paint, I think they're pretty much identical. And there he is next to his Phase 1 501st brother, and as you can see, they've both got the same glossy paint. So yeah, I guess that's some kind of consistency, and yeah, looks pretty cool under the lights. Alright, and here's a lineup of some of the 501st Clone Troopers that we've had in the modern line. And left to right, we've got the Revenge of the Sith from 2005 with the dirty feet there. I'm pretty sure that was the standard one that came out. And then we've got this one here, which is based on the Quick Draw figure. Also came out, I think, in 2005. Maybe it was part of a battle pack or something like that. And then we've got what's known as the antenna mold. That one, Saga Collection, I do believe, in 2007. So that was a pretty popular one for a while. And then we start to get into the vintage collection. So this is one of the Clone Wars VC240s, which is based on the VC60, so it's colloquially known as the skinny legs mold. I know that some people really dislike that mold, and you can kind of see in that lineup it really does stick out as being a bit bobblehead and skinny legged, so I can see that point of view. And then we've got the newer ones here. This one's from the 4-pack, and this is the new shiny single carded one. So I'm really stoked to see a 501st Phase 2 Clone Trooper again in the line, in the new mold, on a single card. And again, I think the card image is really awesome. Anyway, if you've made it this far, thank you so much for watching. I'm middle-aged Kiwi man collecting Star Wars figures. And as the 501st would say, "Sir, it's time for you to leave." And so it is.